be open. I think it's completely fine. Sometimes we hold ourselves back and we feel a little, less about ourselves. It was a good thing that I didn't really look that much into money that time because so that is how I got Netflix.
Hey everybody, how are you guys doing? Welcome to the Design Hack Podcast. I think this is the 36th version. Let me know or correct me if I'm wrong. But today we have an awesome guest, Gajesh, with us, and he works at Phool as a designer. And we're going to talk about his journey and a lot of other design insights from him. And I just want to welcome him on what do we call it, podium, whatever screen. Hey Gajesh, how are you?
Hi man, hi. I'm really good. How are you?
I'm doing super good, one. Thanks a lot for taking your time for this year. I think people will love the conversation that we're gonna have.
I'm glad you're doing this. I mean, I really appreciate it. There needs to be
Thanks,
more conversation about design in India. So yeah, I really appreciate
definitely, man. I think that's the way kind of it also helps to create the awareness that is lacking, especially in India. I
it.
think
Yeah,
design for sure is growing, but I think the awareness part is still yet to come. So
yeah.
that's
I think
the
people are doing it, so I think that there's going to be a lot of change. So
amazing, man. I think let's just start with the intro of yours because I think a lot of people won't know about you. So let's just start with that.
yeah, perfect. So, hi everyone, I'm Gajesh Mitkari. I'm a graphic designer and an illustrator. I am working with Phool as one of the lead graphic designers right now. And apart from that, I have been working in the industry since last 4.5 years. Uh, 2.5 years of professional like employment. Before that, I used to work as a freelancer. I've worked with various brands till now. Some of them are Netflix, Unilever, Beardo, Mastercard, etc. So yeah, the journey till here has been a lot more than how it seems now. There's a lot of challenges that I have faced that I think a lot of you might know about if you're in the design background in the industry. So I think eventually we'll just keeping on talking about that. For the brief intro, I think this much is enough. What do you say?
Amazing, man. I think let's just get into the podcast. So,
Yeah,
I ask everybody about how was their college experience, and I think I actually have done podcasts with people from NID, NIFT, and other places, but I think it's been long that I have done that. But I really want to refresh that journey of how was NID, and first, how was your college experience at NID? Second, do you like how did you decide to kind of choose an id, like because I feel at that time when you kind of were choosing college, design was not that kind of prominent. How did
yeah,
you design an id, you want to choose an id and stuff?
yeah. It's a very pretty interesting story, I must say. So I was actually preparing for IITs, just like all my other friends. And again, like I was also preparing for architecture because my father was like, "Oh, you are good in drawing. You have been drawing since a very long time, so architecture might be the thing for you." And art में तो जाने नहीं देंगे वैसे, even though I have always wanted to become an artist. But my father was the one who pushed me to become an architect. And then eventually, while I was preparing for IITs and architecture, he came across this newspaper ad where he saw like NID and architecture design, and he was like, "Oh, this seems like a pretty interesting thing." And then he researched a lot about it, and then he pushed me that, "Okay, leave everything aside. Maybe this is your thing. Try for this as well." And I was like, I didn't know anything. I had no idea about design as a career, nothing, no idea. Let me be very clear about it. And then what happens is he's like, just prepare, just like just you do your research and see what all you can do. Don't stress about it because we already have IIT and architecture in our hand. And then yeah, I mean 2015, I got into an architecture college. I did architecture for like one semester and scored pretty good. But then my father was like, you know what, maybe this is not your thing. Design is your thing. You should really think about it. And then he asked me to drop out of there. So my father was the one who pushed me to go for NID. So yeah, I prepared again, and then 2015 में prepare करके 2016 में I got selected into NID. And again, as you said, idea होता नहीं है तो idea तो कुछ था नहीं. I was pretty intimidated, I must say, because उस time पे यार English was not a spoken language for me as well. Wasn't very comfortable. I know only my mother tongue Marathi and Hindi a little bit. And then going to a college like that, meeting so many people from, people who have the background, people who have the design background, people who prepared for design for, 1 or 2 years. And I was, like preparing for it like for like 3 4 months. So pretty intimidating, I must say. फिर अंदर जाने के बाद first year was a little I don't know like I say mixed emotions because first year में ऐसा हुआ कि we don't have exam. You might have heard about this already. So we have this jury thing, and basically what you do is every end of semester you present your work. It's not that great, and again for them the first language to have a conversation is in English. So again I was not very confident about it. So I didn't really do quite well in my first semester. Scored very less. And then again, I had a lot of doubt. Did I make the wrong choice? Was architecture was my thing, or should I have gone for engineering? And then slowly and steadily, I met a few seniors who were kind enough to tell me how it's how it's been done, and a few faculties as well who were kind enough to assist me throughout. And then as you grow, you talk to more people, you understand how structure works there. So yeah, first year was a little hectic. Then second semester I did prepare properly myself for talking in front of people. Used to watch a lot of Steve Jobs video for some reason. Like need to train myself. So then that happened,
Amazing.
and then yeah, second year I got into graphic design. Graphic design since I got into my discipline, then things were a little smoother. Then what I used to do is get up early in the morning at around 7, have my breakfast, go to the studio, come back by 11 or 12. Because I only used to stay in the studio. That was my entire, 7 day plan. So, तब से वो आदत लग गई to work even on weekend. And I think you being a person, a fellow designer in the industry, you know that, creative industry, you don't have, you kind of work every day. Because once you get an idea, you really want to finish it off. So yeah, that has been my journey. Met a lot of interesting people, inspiring people, and I think if I look back, there has been a lot of change in the person I've become as well. So
Amazing.
yeah, it's been great.
Sounds awesome. Just a quick question. I think because I didn't went to kind of design college, so I really have this curious question. Was it a big leap from like, or was it weird because till like 12th standard, or like you would be giving exams and then like jury and everything? Like, was that weird? I don't know. How was that feeling?
Yeah, man. I honestly I used to feel guilty. Okay, so I was like, dude, it's an exam. You know how for preparing for IITs and all, there's like a lot of study goes on. You keep on reading a lot of books. You go into design and there's no obligation that you should read books. It's like you talk to people, you interview people. People, humans are your inspiration. And as many people as you talk to, so many problems you'll find, and then you'll try to solve them. Of course, we have design books, we have so many of the material available, but there was no obligation. But still, as the first time, I was like, okay, I mean, I just used to read random books so that I feel good about myself, that I'm studying something. And then, yeah, for second year, my one of my faculties got me into graphic novels. And then I was hooked. I was like, oh, this is it. This is my thing. And after that, I don't think I touched any book which doesn't have any image or visual in it. I can't read books with just text. It's very intimidating for me. So the habit of reading books kind of went away for me. I can't say it for other people, of course. But graphic novels and people with visuals, books with visuals, I can completely like go on for hours. So yeah, it was definitely a weird thing getting out from there to here. But I think you get used to it within like 2 3 months because you see people around you as well, like chilling, your seniors, your faculties. So yeah, I think you get used to it eventually.
Awesome. I think let's go forward in your professional journey. So after completing the college, how did you kind of got into the professional place? Like,
Yeah.
did you? Yeah, yeah. How was that journey?
Okay. So see, the first thing, as soon as we started, I told you that I was not very used to speaking in front of people. That too in a language that is very alien to me. The one thing that I realize and I would like to pass on to every young designer getting out of college right now, and people who are getting into the industry, is that like train yourself to talk because you are the one who is going to sell your work out there, who's going to put your work out there. So you should be the one putting it out there. So first learning is that. Second very interesting incident was in third year I got two opportunities. both from Bombay. First was this filmmaker came and he was like, he came to NAD just to like visit and all, and he wanted to make a web series. And he was like, so I'm looking for actors, and I'm also into acting. So I was like, oh, let's just let's try. But then as soon as I went with him to Bombay, he started giving me work as a graphic designer. Okay, and I was like, okay, I came here to act in the series, and then you're giving me work as a graphic designer. So, but that actually was a life changing experience because I met a lot of people. One thing that I realized is, again, the thing that I told you, you're the one going to sell your work out there. Nobody is going to promote you that much as you can. Okay. And there's a thin line between you being overconfident about your work and you being, proud about what you're doing and presenting it out there. Okay, this is what I've created. I know there might be a little scope for changes as well, for improvement as well. So I'm going to do that. So you be in this zone. So that I learned in Bombay because I met a lot of people who are already like working and doing some amazing work, and then those interactions helped me. Second time was when I had nobody to assist basically, so I got a call from a director, a very famous director, and this director is like, okay, like I saw your work online, saw it on Twitter, somebody shared it, and I'm like, what? Who shared my work?
Mm.
And then he called me. He's like, let's meet, and he thought that I'm in Bombay. He called me in Ahmedabad. So I was like, but again, you are a student and such a big director is calling you, and then you really want to go, you really want to meet them. I booked my ticket like in like 1 hour for the same day, evening. So he called me around 2. I booked a bus ticket for like around 6 p.m. And then I got like all my stuff, packed my stuff, and like went to Bombay same day. Next day, uska story किसी और दिन बताऊंगा. It was a havoc. I was very frustrated. But then I went, I met him, and that is the time when I realized how important it is to grow your network as much as. And then again, while through him, I met another few set of people. I talked to them about my interests, my work, what kind of work I do apart from what I'm doing with this particular director here. And then eventually, when I got out of college, then I just happened to put my work out there everywhere. Like Behance, very active. I made my website. Instagram, I'm very active. I put a lot of illustrations there, which are not really on Behance or any other platform. So these are like every day, every week illustrations that I do, and I do share my point of views about the design practices in India, then design practices in the industry itself. So yeah, putting myself out there has been one of the most important things I've done to reach till here. And then eventually, you just like connect to people like, hey, Abhay, so I've been working in this particular area and segment, and I am open to work. Do you know anybody that is offering? So be open. I think it's completely fine. Sometimes we hold ourselves back and we feel a little less about ourselves for asking for work. It's completely fine because uh, to do to reach till certain level, you have to build. You have to build like small steps. I think I've done that, and I'm happy that I've done.
And I think that has panned out really well for you because
Yeah,
uh, I think what I especially really want people to take it out from here is ki be open to ask, and I
yeah,
think and that's really important because if you don't ask, people won't know what you want and you won't get it. So
exactly, exactly.
so that's a really good thing that I understood, and also be open to opportunities. And definitely, sometimes it becomes really scary. I think for people, like
Yeah,
you took that step to kind of go from Ahmedabad to kind of Bombay, but that's the step you had to take to kind of explore things. And even if it didn't pan out, I think that would have been a good experience.
yeah,
So I think that's really important for people to understand that
yeah,
opportunities you have to explore, you have to take some risk to kind of understand experiences, and they're
exactly.
gonna teach you something for sure. Uh, as I think let's go forward. I really want to ask, how did your then? I think I think that's something that's related to what we just talked about. But how did your freelance with like top brands like Netflix and everything kind of started? How did that start?
Yeah, so I'll tell you about my first freelance. Second year was the time when I got my first freelance. This like metal band from Nagpur approaches me from my hometown, and they're like, "Oh, you have been doing this illustration series on your Instagram. We really like it. We do similar kind of work." What they used to do is Now they're broken, but what they used to do is they used to take like all these classical prayers, okay, like Aigi, Nandini, and all these things. They used to like turn it into metal.
Wow.
Crazy, crazy shit, okay. And I was like, wow, this is very interesting. And dudes performed everywhere, all over India. I was like, fine, I'll do it, of course. So I designed like one of their album art first. So उस time पे I didn't have any device, anything. So everything was hand drawn. पूरा hand draw करके I made this Kali ka illustration, nice illustration, colored it with coffee for some reason. I was like, no, let's just go wild on this. And it went to Rolling Stones.
Wow.
The smart went to Rolling Stones. And I was like, okay, what is happening? I did not expect this at all. I got like 1,000 rupees for that album from them. because they were also struggling. Like, fine, dude. I mean, I'm getting this opportunity, that is enough for me. And I think it was a good thing that I didn't really look that much into money that time because it really did give me a lot of traction. It going to Rolling Stone was enough for me, and that too when I was in second year. So I was like, okay, I'm really grateful for this. It's fine. I don't want any money.
Yeah.
Then eventually, what happened is I saw this poster in my jury, and I was like, oh, this went to, and my faculty rose such. Yeah, they're like, oh, you're very young, you shouldn't be doing all this, you need to learn a lot. It can improve a lot. It would have been a lot better if you would have been like in third year or fourth year or even a graduate. So they like it's pulled me down, man. I felt really bad about it. I was like, what?
You didn't knew it will go to Rolling Stone. You were just making
Yeah,
it for fun.
yeah. And I'm almost on the verge of crying. I'm like, dude, you should be proud. They're like, no. What if there's like a huge mistake that you did, and then it's there everywhere on Rolling Stone page, and then people point it out. What about that? And I'm like, yeah, you're right, but it's not there, right? So like, you should at least motivate me. But that kind of pulled me down. Didn't take any freelance for another 1 year. And then slowly and steadily, what happens is all these network that I have had, all these people that I've talked to, I'm a very talkative person. I go out and talk about it. So they all are like, hey, what are you doing? We have this project. Would you like to do? To do like small projects for friends and family, etc. And then what happens is this is my seventh semester in college. We have our graduation project, and that is for that graduation project and your placement companies come. So all these companies came, and Borosil was one of the companies. And basically, I worked on one augmented reality based project for one of my design projects in college, and I proposed this project to all the companies that I interviewed. Okay, now here also what I did is we had a limit of interviewing only 5 to 8 companies. You can only give interview to only 5 to 8 companies. But what I did is I went on after all my and I just sneaked in to as many as I can because I knew all the volunteers. All these were my friends. I was like one person. So I interviewed like 20, 25 companies, fits in all my ideas, and that is also where I made all these contacts. Okay? And like, it's not now. Let's think about long term. I'll eventually come. I can work as a contact based designer, and I can maybe do project based work. I'm really open to that. So I joined Unilever for my graduation project, and I told all these other companies that I was selected that I will come as soon as I graduate. Okay, and that is what I did. As soon as I finished my graduation project, submitted it, I started mailing all of these companies that I talked to during the placement. I was like, hi. So you remember me? We talked about this. Is there any opportunity? I'm open right now, and I think I'm a graduate now, so it makes more sense because if I would have come for a graduation project, I would have left in 6 months. So now it makes more sense that I come now for a contract based project or a job. So then COVID happened, 2020. That is when I did contract based project with all these companies, Mastercard, Netflix, and all these. And then, as soon as COVID was almost over, I asked Borosil whether he would like to have me. And then that is when I joined Borosil. So yeah, and I think after that, I joined Phool. So eventually, in the talk, I think we will talk about how Phool happened. So that is it. That was my freelancing.
Amazing. So companies like Unilever and these like even Netflix was at the was that NID for that graduation project
You
thing?
remember that? Netflix का और थोड़ा interesting story है. So
Hmm.
Netflix का ऐसा है कि basically I did a project for like a small project for IBM,
Hmm.
and what happened is I put it on my Behance, and it was a private project, but I sent it to a few friends who were in like different sectors, and I told them that this is these are some of not just that, but a few other projects as well, Mastercard as well. And then maybe one of them transferred it to this agency in Colorado, USA. World Bank करके एक agency है, and then World Bank का client था Netflix. So World Bank में से there's this one lady who emailed me. She's like, hey, I've seen your work, and this person is like American. She's not Indian, okay? And I've seen your work, and there's like this long email. There's like this client that I can't reveal right now, and this is a big client, a OTT platform, and I was already very sure who it is. Okay? So I was like, it's either Prime or Netflix. I was like, of course I'm doing this. Let's do it. So within 2 hours, I was like, yeah, I'm free. Let's do this. So yeah, she was kind enough to immediately mail back as well. She was like, yeah, so the client is Netflix. The project is designing film titles, and I've seen some of your expressive typography work. Kind of like it, and I think you can be a good fit. And we are looking for people from different sections of India. So you know Devanagari, so you do Devanagari. People, the person who knows Malayalam will do Malayalam. No, Gurmukhi will do Gurmukhi. So they took like different designers from different states. तो मैं था who designed for Hindi and for Marathi and if Sanskrit. So what they were doing is World Bank, the brief for them was Netflix at that time because COVID was on peak, everybody was at home. So they wanted to localize all these film titles. That if you are there and if you select your mother tongue as your language in your Netflix account, all the titles will come in Gurmukhi. For me, it
Got
will
it.
come. In Gurmukhi. So that's what they were doing. तो जितने भी फिल्म टाइटल्स है वो उनको उसी लैंग्वेज में चाहिए थे सेम डिजाइन ठीक है so that is how I got Netflix. So I designed a few titles for them, and that was done. And then I joined like another America-based startup, and then that was a little थोड़ा सा उसमें गड़बड़ हो गया था. But then after that I joined Google. So yeah.
Interesting. So I think the major thing is कि the clients you came across were due to because the networking first you made and the work that you put out there.
Yeah. Very important. Very important.
Amazing. And that's fascinating because uh, I think people think the people kind of designers are introvert, a lot of them, so they don't kind of put out the work thinking might be judged. I don't know, but for some or other reason. So but I think putting the work out really helps to build your recognition as a brand and as a person. Definitely, as you said, like you got so many gigs, so amazing gigs. So definitely that was a good peak and good cherry on the cake for you.
That's true.
So amazing, yeah. So how now? Let's just go back to the profession. How did then Fool happen?
How did Phool happen? Yeah. So see, as I mean, I think do you know Phool and how do you since when do you know Phool?
I think I know Fool from like last a month or so only, but I would really love for you to like explain what Fool is and what
Yeah,
you
yeah.
guys do.
So basically, what happened is I wanted to ask you how did you come across Phool as a brand?
Actually, because of packaging only, to be honest, I
Yeah,
came across the packaging and being a designer.
that's exactly how I came across Phool as well, right? So what happened is I have been following their work since I think 2019. Phool was established in 2017, and I saw a few of their packaging and I was very much fascinated. I was like, who's this new brand doing all this crazy packaging? And it's not, and the way they focus on their entire design language, their photography, everything. It's honestly international level. Okay, I was very much fascinated, and I was in Borosil during that time. So I used to talk about it to all my friends who look at it so good. They're putting so much efforts in it. I want to know what agency is doing it. I want to know what studio is doing it because I always thought it's either a studio or an agency. Okay. Eventually, I realized it's all in house. Okay. And then I'm just like, I need to know. And I like reach out to people. I see you all are there in Phool, and I see this one designer who's now my fellow designer at Phool. I look up to her a lot. I've been looking up to her. She's my inspiration. Subhakshi. Same age, and she actually graduated from NIFT Delhi. And I came across her profile. Not very loud. Again, as you said, amazing work, brilliant work. Okay, but not very loud. But because I was so curious, I searched for her. Not lot of people know who's the person behind all these 3DS packaging, right? So I just connected her on LinkedIn, and then I forget about it. Okay, and then I continue my work at Borosil, and then eventually what happens is I kind of Borosil is brilliant, okay, but I don't feel like I'm fitting in, and then it hits me that Phool is something that I really look forward to, and this is the kind of work that I want to do. I put so many illustrations every day, and this is something that I love to do. I've been sketching and drawing since I was 5, so it makes it like 20 years of just drawing every single day. So I was like, this is what I want to do. And then I recall, oh, Shubhakshi. I text her. I'm like, hey, so I've been working with them, but I love what you guys do, and this is the kind of work I want to do. Is there any possible synergies that we can think about? Do you think I can, maybe work on a project or even like full time? I don't mind. Just let me know. And she's kind enough. She's like, oh, let me just talk to Ankit. Ankit, who's the founder of Phool, and let get back to you. And she gets back to me within like 2 3 days. And then she's like, let's get on a call if that's okay for you. And I'm like, of course, I'd love to get on a call. And very humble person, okay. And I get on a call. I'm in my office, okay. And I tell them, okay, my family is calling me. I need to get. I get out of a meeting. They must not know about this, but okay, fine. I think it's too late now. But I get out and like, hey, Subhakshi, hi, really love what you do, amazing work. And then she's telling me about everything that they do at Phool. She's telling me that everything is in house. I'm like, it's blowing my mind, and I'm getting more fascinated about it. I'm like, okay, this is crazy. This level of work, all in house, is really something new. Okay, and then I'm telling her, I want to definitely work with you guys. Let me know how we can go ahead. And then she's like, I'll get on a call, another person from the team on call. This is Apur, our sales and marketing head. And then they set up an interview. Talking to them, they're like, why do you want to leave such a nice. And I was a creative manager actually. And to come in a startup, work as an illustrator and a graphic designer, they're like, why do you want to take this leave? Everybody was questioning, honestly, because that job was very well off.
Obviously.
Just like I just don't feel like I'm fitting in. It's all that. There's nothing bad with the company, nothing bad with the people, nothing bad with the work. It's just this is not what I want to do. I'm sketching every day. I'm doing comics every day, illustrating every day. I'm not getting to do that core thing here. And this is what you guys do, and I would love to be a part of this. And they're like, yeah, we understand. And then they kind of try to push me back. They're like, they kind of, you're doing a good job there. Why do you want to leave? And I'm just saying, no, this is what I want to do. Conversation, and then then they give me a task. I do the task, and then then they're just like, come, and then they're like, you come as a lead designer because you already have so much experience, work so well. They were kind enough to give me that title as well. And I'm happy to be a part of the family now. And me and Shubhakshi are kind of leading the team now. So we are a team of 6 people now. And Shubhakshi and me, we do most of the packaging. She has been there with them since 3 years. So she's like a guiding light for everybody, for me as well. So there's like a lot of feedback and interaction happens, and then we all give feedback to each other. She's the one who maybe in the end takes the main call. So yeah, has been a great.
Amazing. Amazing, man. And how so, so basically we didn't talk about what is Phool and like what you guys do. Like,
Yeah.
can you give a brief about that as
Yeah. So what is food? Yes, exactly. Right. So now I come into food, right? So now food is basically a Kanpur-based startup. Now growing into a good company. What they do is, so the idea struck Ankit Agarwal, our founder, in 2017, to recycle floral waste into something more sustainable and better. How did the idea strike? he was sitting on the river banks with one of his friends who came from outside, and this friend just like asked him, they're dumping all these plural waste and this toxic waste into the holy river that you call Ganges, and you consider it to be your goddess, and you're dumping it all here. Don't you feel bad about it? We being Indians, we don't think about it a lot, because Nirmale is not waste for us. Nirmale is holy for us. Yeah, so हमने कभी कचरे की तरफ उसकी तरफ देखा है ना? And the same thing strikes to him as well. And that is where the idea born. That, we need to do something about it. That is when he kind of invented the thing, pioneered the thing of flower cycling. The main company is Kanpur Flower Cycling Private Limited, KFPL. Phool is the sub brand. Phool is becoming a big company, but main thing is KFPL. So Ankit starts there, goes everywhere, promotes his products and brilliant products, and eventually, and he's the one visionary. Doesn't have design background at all, doesn't have any art background at all, but he knows how the design is supposed to be. So the most amount of time Ankit is spending within the company is not with the customer support team, not with the marketing team. Of course, he's giving everybody feedback. He's driving everybody. He's the one who's driving the company to places where it's supposed to be. But the most amount of time he spends is with the design team. So all the feedback we get, all the changes that we get, all the little details that we put in, the ideas, we do have it. But the main person who gets all these ideas is Ankit, the founder of the company. So he knows what he wants, okay? There's going to be a lot of new products as well. You're seeing gulal, you're seeing incense sticks and cones. There's going to be candles, there's going to be aromatherapy candles, essential oils are there. A lot of new things. And all this vision is of Ankit.
Amazing.
So yeah, that is what the brand does. Alia Bhatt is one of the investors. Six Sense Ventures from Bangalore is the investor. And Ankit Agarwal is the founder and a visionary. I think even why I'm pushing so much on his name is because he is the driving force for the entire company. So I think everybody, all of the great work, good work that you're seeing is because of all these people that I'm, taking the names of.
Amazing, man. I think that's the kind of motivation that you need when you are in a company and the leader or the founder kind of matches the same. I will say the word vibe, but kind of matches the same vibe as you. And like when you hear from him an idea, and you're like, bro, that's what I was. That's something amazing, and with that feeling, and that's when you like, bro, this is the place. That's where I'm at. So,
Exactly.
that's amazing.
You need a good mentor. You always
Yeah.
need a good mentor when you're starting off in the industry. I'm really fortunate enough, like touch wood, I'm really there's no like buttering anybody or anything. This is like coming out of my heart because I've seen everybody else as well in the company. So yeah, that growth, that mentorship, we all seek it, man. I mean, it might be the same case for you as well, for everybody as well.
Yeah. and
That
and
is,
that's what I've even talked to a lot of designers, uh, from like big companies, small companies, service based, product based, B2B, B2C, SaaS, every type. And one thing that's common that I've found in their journey is mentorship. Whether it's in the company they are in, whether it was the college they were in, whether
yeah,
it was the school they were in, whether it was their parents, whether it was their relatives, some or the other person
yeah,
was the driving force, was the motivator, was the mentor for them, who kind of guided them to the right path, who kind of matched the same vibe, who kind of helped them to figure out what is the right path, what is the right way. And I think that's really important because in a designer's journey, so I will specifically say it's really important,
mm,
because I think as a designers, we imagine sometimes when we are young, we imagine too much,
yeah,
and we need to there should be like we can imagine whatever the hell we want, but when we are actually implementing that, there has to be a kind of threshold of what we are doing for who.
yeah.
And and I think eventually it comes from experience, but till experience comes, mentor or someone can help you out with this. So that's how it is.
Very true. I really appreciate you putting it out there, Bob. Like, word by word.
Yeah, and I think that's really important, man, because I make these podcasts for like budding designers to kind of figure out how people have grown. Your journey has been super amazing with
Yeah,
like NID being one of the part, then how freelancing with these big organizations and landing a job and how that networking thing happened. For sure, I think your being a little extrovert is an important part playing in that. But
Yeah.
lot of people are there. But I think there are ways, like you said, you did that extra effort when graduation thing was
Mhm.
happening. So
Yeah.
you got the emails, you replied back, and those things I think people don't put that extra effort towards that, and also putting their work out. Uh,
Yeah.
that's really
I keep on
important.
one thing which I think,
Yeah, yeah,
so I keep on telling this one thing to all these aspirants. I recently went to IIT as well for a guest lecture, and then this one important thing I keep on pushing is, designers are, some designers are extremely talented, extremely skilled at what they do, you know, and their brain works like magic. Like you can't even look at something very simple with an eye that they have. But the skill that we all lack is the business point of view.
yeah.
Is the strategy point of view. When you balance design and your business personality together, there's literally nothing stopping you.
Agreed, man. Thousand times agreed.
Okay, so वो ना थोड़ा सा I think we all need to learn how to do business as well.
Yeah, and
Then
I
I
think agreed. And I think that really, especially I will say because me being a product designer, I'm not good with sketches, but I'm good with like digital art and those pieces. So I feel me being a product designer, I talk to and being in a startup, I talk to a lot of folks around the company because I'm designing experiences digitally and like sales talks to people regularly, so they know better than me what the people want.
exactly
Because they talk to them regularly. They sell to them regularly. They sell the experience to them, and
exactly
this is just the same thing. So I think yesterday only I was like, kind of reflecting back on sales and like these people, and I was like, bro, when we used to get that call from an institute, when we
Mhm.
were in need of a IIT coaching or like, even just IIT coaching, and we were like, yeah, we'll do this, we'll do that, and they're selling that experience to us,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
they're like एक चेरी दूसरी चेरी तीसरी चेरी चौथी चेरी and they're like bro last में 50,000 डिस्काउंट भी दे दूंगा so that's the experience like for sure it's monetary but that's the experience they are building up and they're like
Yeah.
bro now you can get it
No,
so
that's a
weird.
good example.
Yeah. Awesome, man. I think let us go a little more now into a little fun stuff. So we'll do a rapid fire round. Okay.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
will give you two options. You choose one. If you want to explain your options, you can. Cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Amazing. Simple options. So first one is coffee or tea for late night design sessions.
Try, yeah, try. I've given up coffee 4 months back. I was coffee like a coffee person. I used to brew for people, that much. But then you can see how hyper I am. Imagine me with coffee. So then that is why I gave up coffee because I used to very like anxious, feeling jumpy, going around, dancing, and even if without coffee I'm like this, it's
Ma-
not a good idea
Made
to
a
do.
good decision. I feel made a good decision.
Chai is perfect for me.
Amazing. Okay. Next, design for web or print.
Oh man, that's a very good question. Um, See, now that I'm working with physical experiences, people feeling what I'm making, and even for my own brand, I have a little brand. Uh, I'll say print. I'll say print.
Amazing. And I
It's
think
the
I think that's where we can talk about your brand as well. I think Modak Amazon, right? So
yes, yes.
what is that and what was the inspiration behind starting that?
Yeah, so basically क्या हुआ ना, I was working on this one illustration for Women's Day back in 2020 and मैंने वो start कर दिया था actually बहुत पहले, but it took me 6 months to finish it. I was procrastinating so much. I was like, do it later, do it later. So eventually I kind of thought that there's potential in this illustration. I need to finish it. Yeah, let's just get done with it. तो फिर मैंने शुरू किया, फिर 2-3 हफ्ते में उसको कैसे तो मैंने फिनिश किया. It came out pretty well. And then I was just like, like I'll just upload it, man. तो मैंने Instagram पे upload किया and a lot of people asked me. 10-15 people were like, hey, would you like to, make a t-shirt or sell prints of these because we would like to buy. And तो 10-15 लोग were enough for me. So I was like, चलो 4-5 और मिल जाएंगे. I just put up a story. And then I just put up a story that I'm printing t-shirts of this print. Does anybody want to buy it? And then it's like my DM is flooded with people. The story is shared by so many people. Okay, like everybody sharing that story, and you can see shares, right? So I'm seeing like 50, 60 shares with random people are coming in my DMs, and then I'm just like, you know what? Let's do it properly. So for time being, I make another page, and I'm like, this is only where I'll handle all these transactions. ठीक है तो मैं एक बार एक ऑर्डर ले लेता हूँ फिर मैं प्रिंट करके भेज दूंगा so I set up a limit of 25 orders and what happens is that the first day itself I get like 55 orders or something and then I'm like wow that's great तो फिर मैं figure out कर रहा हूँ t-shirts और सब कुछ and then I start printing t-shirts and then I think okay I need to have a name for my brand and this is where Moda comes into picture. I wanted something very quirky, something that you remember in a go, something very DC. And I'm a Marathi. Modak is something very close to us. Like we are diehard Modak fans, and it's something again like something which is very cute. Which is very
Yeah.
what a Modak is. And my name is Gajesh, so there was this another
Wow.
connection to that. So I was like, let's just go ahead with Modak. I had a few other options as well. My brother wanted to name it something very international, but I was like, no, we're going ahead with Modak. And then
Amazing.
I named it Modak, and yeah, within like 1-2 months, I launched two more designs. First one being the bestseller, of course. Then again, it was COVID, so I made this one T-shirt, like one liner. I survived 2020. Launched it in on 1st January 2021. Okay. वो भी and my father was very skeptical. He's like, don't print something like this. Like one single line, nobody is going to buy it because your first design was very loud. Second design was very colorful. And then this comes and then nobody is going to buy it. And I was like, no, I know people are going to buy it. Then people bought like hundreds of those as well. So within like months of my brand getting established, we were all over India. 700, 800 t-shirts were already out. In fact, I'm wearing one right
Yeah, yeah.
now. This is like
Um,
smash
oh,
patriarchy.
amazing.
T-shirts and most of my topics to make all these designs were basically social issues. And I focused mostly on women issues because that is something which I often talk about. And I was like, you know what, this is something that I want to keep with my brand. This is like the specialty. Of course, there's going to be other designs as well. But this is something, a range which I would continue forward. And there was this one which was like monthly necessities, which talked about the necessities that you should have on period. There's like a plate full of period necessities and there's one lady holding it, inspired by Raja Ravi Verma's painting. So yeah, and then what happens is COVID का जब third wave almost आना शुरू हो गया ना, then we faced a little issue because again it's a small business anyway. It's not like बहुत बड़ा है. So यार we didn't get a lot of manufacturers because सब लोग के businesses बंद हो.
Yeah.
Now not being a top tier एकदम Bombay Pune जैसी city, it was very difficult to procure material. तो मेरा थोड़ा shipping मैंने reduce कर दिया. And even though I was getting a lot of orders, I couldn't ship them properly. ठीक है फिर मैंने थोड़ा सा उसको ब्रेक ही दे दिया because then Phool and Borusil happened. Then Phool
Yeah.
happened. So then I was like, I will put it on break till the time I learn everything. We'll get back to it as soon as I have more understanding of how businesses, in situations like these work. So now that I'm with another brand like Phool, I'm learning a lot about startups and how do you deal with situations like these. And me being one of the core team members, you do face, situations. You are part of situations like these where you have to pitch in. What if this happens? What do we do? So वो सब सीख के eventually when I'm more confident enough, I'll restart the thing here. It's on a break for now, but I do promote it everywhere I go because it's like it's your baby, so you have to.
Yeah, yeah. Obviously. And I think I'm gonna add the link in the description from you as well by getting from
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
Awesome, man. I think let's go forward. So next one is meeting deadlines or exceeding expectations.
So yes, yeah. um, yeah, I'm a very time crunch man. Especially after that women must serve men wala t-shirt, no. बिकॉज यार मैंने जो इतना डिले किया उसके बाद आई रियलाइज कि यार अगर मैं टाइम पे करता तो ये चीज और थोड़ा पहले होती और ब्रांड थोड़ा सा और ज्यादा थोड़ा बड़ा होता. So after that, I became very time conscious. ठीक है. तो till the time I joined Phool, of course, deadlines was something I followed. But when I joined Phool, तो बहुत बार ऐसा होने लगा कि टाइमलाइन छोटा सा होता था 5-10 दिन का. बट फिर प्रोजेक्ट इतना वो इंटरेस्टिंग और इतना इंट्रिकेट बनता था कि वी हैड टू एक्सपैंड इट. वन डे करते करते वो मंथ लॉन्ग प्रोजेक्ट बन गया. वो 25 days लॉन्ग प्रोजेक्ट बन गया. 5 दिन का प्रोजेक्ट. So I think the quality and the that because if you're putting something out there for so many people to look at, for so many people to experience, you need to have that quality. So
Agreed.
it's okay to take a little extra time, but put something so good out there that people will remember for a long time. So yeah.
Agreed. Agreed. Freelancing or doing a job?
Oh my God. Of course I love where I'm working right now. I love the people. I love the company. But I would of course want to be with my family. I'm very close to them. I have a dog as well. Uh, we treat him as a family. We don't treat him as a dog. So yeah, everybody here is, in Nagpur is like very close to me. Freelancing will make sense more than.
Amazing. And I think it makes sense as well, yeah, because uh, I think as you grow in your career, you and as you mature as a person, I will say, you
Yeah,
understand what is important for you,
yeah,
and and I think and that's for you only. You can't like justify it. That's just for you, and
that's
that's a reality. Okay, and I think just this next question is related to a little bit of AI. Okay,
yeah.
so what would you prefer, AI generated or AI assisted?
Mm, good one. Yeah. AI assisted for sure. Because see, अगर मेरे पास skill नहीं होता ना, तो मैं generated होता. But I have the skill to make something like that. Maybe sometimes I just need that little push on my brain कि my brain is not functioning. मेरे को visual cues ही नहीं मिल रहा है. मुझे mood board ही नहीं मिल रहा है. Ideas ही नहीं आ रहे हैं. थोड़ा सा visual push चाहिए. तो फिर मैं थोड़ा assistance लूँगा कि uh, just give me something which is something like this in this world and it has these qualities. So once I get that one small push, then I'll be like, now rest. I'll do. Just give me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing, amazing. The last one.
Yeah.
So you prefer emotional design or rational design?
Ah. Hmm. Of course, I mean, being into the industry, understanding that design is not art. You're solving problems. So it needs to be rational. It needs to be practical. It needs to solve problems. But being in a company, working in a company where you need to have the customer to have the emotional touch, that personal connect with the brand, that you have to catch that person and just make them get closer to the brand. I think right now what I'm working on is very emotional rather than rational.
And I think it depends.
Ah,
So
exactly.
And I think it depends because sometimes companies really want that emotion to come out from
Yeah,
their project, and I think especially I think from your personal brand like Moda, you were focusing on emotions
yeah.
and that social issue. So I feel that's also a thing when you don't have to think about because making money was not the purpose. When you don't
Mm,
have to think about money, you can
mm,
make more emotional decisions.
that's
But whenever money comes into play, you
mm.
have to balance the rational piece out.
That's so true. I think to give you that example in practical word and scenario in industry, basically when we are working on an original product by Phool, we are launching a new product or something, a packaging, uh, we do get a lot of time to spend on it. But when there's like a bulk inquiry comes, a company wants to gift their employees and they want it in like 2-3 days or something, don't get that much time. So you have to be very quick with that design. You just have to like make something which works for them. So तब उस time पे थोड़ा and I'm saying this uh, and this relates only to this company. हर company के अलग अलग timeline के हिसाब से वो scenario change होगा. So हाँ यार, you're right actually.
It's amazing. Awesome, man. I think we are at the end. But I have just one last question from you.
Yeah,
What advice would you give to budding designers who would be listening to this podcast? Can be one piece, can be two piece. What would be that advice?
I think I've been saying this since the beginning of the interview. Yeah. Putting yourself out there. It's very important. We all underestimate the power that we hold within. The one thing that designers, I think, are lacking most of them is uh, the openness to go out there, the openness to and it's fine. You if you're scared about people judging you for your work, your skills are going to improve. That's the thing. Skills improve. That's the thing about skills. When you practice something for a long time, they're going to improve, right? But unless and until you don't put yourself out there, you won't see your own growth, and that's why you'll be stagnant. So put yourself out there. Fail at a few projects. It's completely fine. You know, but unless and until you don't go out there, you won't understand who you are as a designer. You won't find your identity. So it's very important to go out there. It's very important to promote yourself seamlessly. It's completely fine. Okay. And eventually, I think you will be at a stage where you will understand your mistakes. You'll learn from them. You'll grow from them. You'll meet people who will help you, who will push you. I have met them, and I've met them because I put myself out there. So yeah, I think that is the learning. Yeah.
That's amazing, bro. That's I think this podcast was really amazing, and I think people will get a ton of insights from this one because I feel we kind of covered a great chunk of things,
Yeah.
being from design college to getting freelance work to getting networks
Yeah.
to kind of going for acting kind of job and then kind of doing graphic design and other pieces.
Yeah.
We talked about a bunch of things, and I think people are definitely going to love this one. So thanks, Gajesh, for coming in. Thanks for sharing your time and kind of knowledge with us. And I will link your LinkedIn and socials down below for anyone who want to reach out to you. And Modak as well. While I know it's on pause, but I definitely want people to kind of check your designs and do follow you for whenever you start back and order some teas. And I will try to get one for you personally because I really love the teas and love the cause that you were trying to promote. Uh, so, and that's amazing. Thanks a lot, Gajesh. Thanks a lot to everyone for watching this, and see you guys in the next one.
Thank you.